The smartest manipulators never raise their voice. They never call themselves manipulators. In fact, most of them believe they're just good at people. But strip away the charm, and what's left is a pattern, a set of tactics used again and again on friends, partners, coworkers, even family. Today, we're breaking down 7 of them. By the end of this video, you won't just recognize these tactics in others, you might recognize 1 or 2 in yourself. Manipulation isn't always loud. It's rarely a villain twirling a mustache. Most of the time, it's quiet, calculated, and disguised as care, humor, or logic. Smart manipulators don't need to lie outright. They just need to control the frame of the conversation. Let's start with the one you've probably experienced this week. Number 1, the compliment trap. It sounds like a compliment. You're always so calm, you never let things bother you. But it's actually a leash. Once you're praised for a trait, you feel pressure to keep performing it, even when you're not okay. Say calm enough times to someone, and they'll swallow their anger to protect the image you gave them. This is called strategic praise, and manipulators use it to quietly install expectations you never agreed to. Number 2, selective memory. I never said that. You're remembering it wrong. Sound familiar? This tactic works because memory is fragile, and manipulators know it. By confidently denying something that happened, they force you to doubt your own recall instead of questioning their honesty. Repeated enough, this becomes a mild form of what psychologists call gaslighting. Not the dramatic movie version, but the everyday kind that makes you apologize for things you didn't do. The tell? They never ask questions to clarify. They simply state the false version with total confidence. Number 3, the favor debt. Manipulators are often generous, strategically generous. They do you a favor you didn't ask for, then bring it up months later at the exact moment they need something. This taps into the reciprocity principle. Humans are wired to feel obligated to return kindness, even manufactured kindness. The favor was never really a gift, it was a deposit, and now they're collecting interest. Number 4, moving goalposts. You meet their request, then somehow it's still not enough. Okay, but why didn't you also do this? This tactic keeps you in a permanent state of almost good enough, which makes you work harder to earn approval that was never designed to be given. It's not about the task, it's about keeping you in a loop of proving yourself, because someone chasing approval is easy to control. Number 5, the public performance. Ever notice someone who's warm and reasonable in front of others, but cold or dismissive one-on-one? This is intentional. By building a public reputation as the nice one, they make it harder for you to call out their private behavior, because who's going to believe you over someone everyone else adores? This tactic isolates the target by controlling the narrative before you even get a chance to tell your side. Number 6, weaponized logic. Smart manipulators rarely yell. They reason. They'll calmly explain why your feelings don't make sense, using just enough logic to make you question yourself instead of them. This is different from healthy debate. The goal isn't understanding, it's making you feel irrational for having a reaction at all. If a conversation leaves you feeling stupid for being upset, that's not always your emotions failing you. Sometimes it's the conversation being engineered that way. Number 7, the future fake-out. Things will be different once this happens. A promise dangled just far enough away to keep you patient, and just vague enough to never actually arrive. This tactic works because hope is powerful. As long as you believe change is coming, you'll tolerate the present. Manipulators know this, and they use the future as a leash for your patience in the now. Here's the uncomfortable truth. None of these tactics require evil intent. Most people who use them learned it as a survival skill, not a weapon. But recognizing the pattern is the first step to not falling for it, and maybe catching yourself before you do it to someone else. Which one of these hit closest to home? Drop the number in the comments, 1 through 7. And if you want the science behind why your brain falls for tactic number 2 specifically, that video's linked right here.